Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of My Can of Chaos. I'm Can of Dave.
And I'm Groovy.
On today's episode, I'm not in the studio, so we're not going to do a review, but we're going to talk about some of the recent events we went at, a couple of the competitions, a couple of winners. We have a surprise we're going to announce for next week's episode that we recorded, which we're pretty stoked about. And then we're getting closer to Croptober here in the state of Michigan because we're halfway through the month, and we're going to talk about Croptober and what that might do to the market. So just a little pre-thought into the episode. But before we get started, Groovy, let's give a shout out to all the partners that make this possible. First, we're going to kick it off with Lost Coast Plant Therapy. Use code MyCanna20 at checkout. If you know a friend, family member that's growing and you don't, and they got bugs, gnat, party mildew, anything in their plant's not thriving, tell them about this spray. Lost Coast Plant Therapy, MyCanna20, all lowercase. Then I'm going to jump over to Exquisite Extractions, where you have hash, rosin, and then they have hash-infused pre-rolls. I think it's bubble hash. That's Exquisite Extractions. Then we got Canopy Extracts, award-winning concentrates. Actually took home a first place sneak peek at Best in Grass, which Groovy's hat is rocking that. We're going to talk about that. Beautiful, beautiful. Then we're going to hit you with Old School Organics, where the retro and the new school strains are together. 100% organic, hand-watered plants. And then if you want to grow cannabis and you're looking for a soil or a medium, check out Smoking Tomatoes, a.k.a. Dairy Dew, where you could grow in their living soil. And then also the session event that's happening next Saturday, September 27th in New Buffalo. So stay tuned to our socials. We're going to have a giveaway actually upcoming here in the next few days with the sessions. And I believe that is all of our partners.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Smoking Tomatoes.
Cool.
I don't know if you said them, but I love them.
Yeah, no, I did.
Double shout them out.
Double shout out, Smoking Tomatoes, a.k.a.
But yeah, man, so it's just been a busy couple of weeks. We've been going nonstop. We checked a bunch of news articles. One that seems kind of propaganda-ish, so we're not going to talk about it. The other ones just seem very, we might talk about legalization. The state might talk about legalization. Nothing too crazy in the news, so I'll probably get to that next episode or the 2 weeks. Hopefully we'll get some stacked up a bit.
Definitely 2 weeks, because next week's episode is...
Yeah, so it's been crazy. The couple events, Best in Grass was cool, man. What did you think of it all? I mean, obviously I'm rocking the hat, so I dug it.
I thought it was really cool. It was a lot cooler this year, which was nice because it was in September, not July. And you could... What? Oh, not really, no.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, it actually literally was colder. Like, it was so hot last year. So
it was.
This year.
So that was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It was great to see everyone dressed up. It's a cool concept because you don't see that often within the industry. And I mean, not everyone goes out and gets dressed up all the time, right? I know I'm not always going out and get dressed up all the time. So I thought it was cool.
Well, I mean, it's definitely unique for a
up.
cannabis event, because I think when people think like cannabis event, I think people think like, I'm going to go to a venue. There's going to be a bunch of booth setups. I'm going to learn about some bud. I might get some freebies from some stuff. I'll get some free dabs, free flower, pre-rolls, whatever. Because I think the normal cannabis event is just like kind of like a marketing stuff. It's just like free stuff. Check it out. Meet the people. Talk about them. And I think that was like the first style of event, right? Besides just smoking or competitions, and then competitions. And now we got these festivals, and now we have all these other different events like the session. It's around education. Best in Grass was more, I think, yes, it was a competition, but that part was different, was that it was supposed to be more like a gala is the vibe I got, and I think was what he's going for.
Definitely.
So I think
they have a red carpet where you take photos and stuff like he did last year.
I mean, doing
so it's definitely gala style
in Royal Oak is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, there's never, like, besides Best in Grass, there's never anything in Royal Oak that's to do with cannabis, really.
Yeah, not much. I thought they were supposed to open up a dispo there, but I'm not
cool.
Sure
I'm not knocking the city by any means. I'm just saying it's not as common. You don't hear Royal Oak Music Theater. You know what I mean? Like, for cannabis community, if you're from the Michigan community, you know these spots. You know the Brooklyn. You know what I mean? You know the Tangent. Like, now the Crowfoot's been popping with it, which, I mean, we'll get into that event because that was, shout out to Zalympix too, because that was another event. That one was phenomenal, and I'll get to that in a second. But I enjoyed Best in Grass because it was almost, you didn't even recognize people because everyone's so so dressed up, and it was just like, I don't know, a different vibe. when there are competitions and you have brands and their names are on the branding, we actually had Mark and Joey to talk about it, kind of discussing the difference between competitions with what's it called, with anonymity, where it's just like numbers and stuff, versus a competition with the branding. And I think that was a really interesting conversations that we had with Mark and Joey, the people who led that event, and why they do it this way, so everyone gains from their competition. We've definitely heard people in the comments with their own thoughts on the other end of things, of like, how do you know who really wins then? And and the thing is, there is no perfect competition, but I think what's interesting about Best in Grass and why I enjoyed it is the inclusivity. And I anything with inclusivity I like, Now I do think personally there was some where I'm like, yep, that makes sense. And there was some where I'm like, what? So I think, every competition has its things, so it was fun, and it's open to the public too, whether you people do or don't like that. I think that's kind of nice because it gives, everyone a chance to see what it's like to do these cannabis competitions. I think I like inclusivity. So that's why I just wanted to point that out. Even the first year with the High Times bags, I was all about it till it got complicated and I started seeing people who, in my opinion, shouldn't have win. And then I'm like, well, what the hell? Then you have people just buying out bags, but that's not to the comp. That's just to those people being cheaters. So, what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or maybe not cheaters. They might call it in their area. It's a gray area. They might be like, well, that's just fair. That's just us investing in ourselves or marketing. But it's like, nah, man, that's cheating. You should have random people voting on your shit, and if it wins, it wins. Best of best wins.
Well, that's one of the cool thing about the Best in Grass is they go through each review after, and they vet the process. Like they said on that live stream when they joined us, Mark and Joey, they'll go through them. If stuff doesn't make sense or it's all like sixes and there's no effort, they might throw that out because there's like, you're not trying or anything.
Too fast. Like if they were under 5 minutes, even though one of my buddies did tell me, I won't put his name out there, but he was like, when we were at the cop, he's like, damn, I hope that wasn't me. He's like, cause I did it all prior, kind of the way y'all do it. And then I just entered it. So he's like, I entered it super fast. He's like, I hope that they weren't like, took my away.
Yeah, it is a good thing to bring. It's a good point to bring up because we kind of did a similar route though too. I mean, we did some within the platform, but then sometimes we did reviews out, risky reviews, which you all saw, and then we did them out there.
I mean, I'll be honest. If you listen to the past podcast, I've been all about the blind testing ones, because that's just like the old school competitions, the street comps, the caregiver comps, like just in general. And I think now what's fascinating me with Metric too is there also is that side of its marketing too. You know what I mean? It's not just about the competition. There are brands that they're like, I may not win, but that $5,000 is worth it to get my brand out there with people who are out there, So it's like sometimes that event is made for different consumers, where, if fast forward to Zalympix a couple days ago or more recent, that was, just invite only, best of the best, nothing more. Blind testing. That is the only thing that matters, the best of the best. There was no you get no marketing out of this except for the competition. You get to meet people, but it's just different. You know what I mean? I enjoy every event mainly because I just love going to events, but Canada's events are just unique,
No, they really are.
Every event. Excuse me.
And going into the Zalympix, I mean, Best in Grass. My final thoughts is I look forward to seeing you all in Michigan again next year because that'll be their third year. We got a couple ideas we might do with them because their giveaway went out so good with all y'all that tuned in. So we appreciate that. Always pay attention to our stories and our socials because you never know when we're doing giveaways, especially with the holidays upcoming. We might be doing some spontaneous giveaways, so just stay tuned. But it was sweet to have them on in the live, talk about it. Another successful event. Appreciate y'all. Congrats on getting in Nevada because they just opened up in Nevada, I believe, which was Joey's home state. So we'll see how that continues moving forward. They're in multiple states, and it was cool to connect with them. So, but yeah, jump into the Zalympix, man. I like that because, like you said, it's the best of the best. And it's only 2 categories compared to where Best in Grass, I think, is 14 categories. This is just best rosin, best flower compared to they have vapes.
Right. And every comp's different too. I mean, look at the hash bash that you do. It's like top 2 flavors. That's it. The Best in Grass actually got granular with everything. Zalympix, I don't know. I can't speak on because I've never judged. Oh, wait, we did the flower last year, which I can't remember though. But my whole point is it's just they're very different in their own aspects, but people gain different things for different reasons depending on where you are in your branding. You know what I mean? They're very different. Like Za comes from California too, so it's not a Michigan steaded event either. You know what I mean? So it's kind of cool to see Michigan become this hub of like everyone wants to throw their big comps here. You know what I mean? Best in Grass launched here, but since then, like you said, he's taken it everywhere. Mark and Joey, and then what's really cool about Zalympix is like I think it was kind of like it's kind of had that like cool swag too. You know what I mean? Like you kind of catch like with the videos on from California, like I felt like it was like the best of the best, right? So when it came here to Michigan, I was like, well, cool. Whoever gets involved in here has probably like been vetted. And you know, shout out to Ty, the whole team. Appreciate Exotic Matter. I actually just finished it, so I can't dab any, but appreciate that whole team out there because that was a super cool event. And I love Pontiac. You know, I have a lot of memories in Pontiac, a lot of memories on that block, and it was just super fun to be there. I can't tell you how much fun I had at Zalympix. You know, don't get me wrong. Love Best in Grass. Love the gala feel. It's different vibe. It's like, hi, everyone's having a sip of a drink and smoking a little bit. It's very classy and, you know, you're able to network in business. But I love Zalympix where it's like, what's the best of the best? Let's just get right. Like it was fun. You know what I mean? I had a lot of fun. And they took over the street in Pontiac too, which for the Crowfoot, I absolutely love that. We should do that more.
I agree. I think it was pretty cool how they had the entire, and then you also had like up the street, they had like some type of, I don't know, not block party, but they had that blocked off too. Northern from where we were, where the food was right above it. Because remember we drove past it, we were going to park down that street and then there was parking.
Yeah, they're doing like a street fest or something for something else. Plus electricity was open. Yeah. So for me, I was like, hell yeah, Pontiac's alive. Hell yeah, Pontiac's alive. I mean, I was exhausted, but it was brought me back to life because I was literally hurting that day. Like I came back from a long ride and I was just exhausted.
It was jam packed.
Yeah, and those
the line wrapped around Erebus.
So if you don't understand, like, or don't know where Erebus is in relation to the Crowfoot, it's on the opposite corner. So if you're like a rectangle, if it's this one, it's the opposite one. So you made a complete L, or not more than L. It was basically a U around this building more. Like, honestly, they were probably only a couple hundred people from just doing a full, like, wraparound, which is insane to me. It's one of the busiest I've ever seen Pontiac. And I used to, like, work back in the day when Pontiac was popping. So I loved it.
And the cool thing, too, that the ZA does, well, that they do here, I don't know if they do in Cali. They do a collab with Woodward Collective Movement, one of the clothing brand. I'm blanking on the exact name, but that's who they did that's who they did the clothing with. And the first 700 people got to pick either a sweatshirt, a hat, a t-shirt, a bag, like a gym bag.
Are you? Mine's all the way downstairs. I left mine. You know.
No, I don't. Honestly, I think.
And I'm so happy because last year Dave got blessed with the hoodie, and I was so jelly. All year I'd see him wear it, I'd be like, I'm gonna steal that mug. Like I'm gonna steal that.
He did say that multiple times.
All the time. And then I finally got mine this year. I was like, hell yeah! I had like 2 people come up to me and be like, can they buy my hoodie directly off my back? And then someone else just asked where I could buy it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't sell these. No, I'm just kidding. I was just like, no, man, I don't know. One guy was like, would you sell that? I was like, not even kind of interested in that, but thank you. Like,
I know. I was like, well, no.
You give me like, if the guy would have came up to me with 5 racks or something, I'd have went up to Ty and be like, yo, buy me a new one. I will throw you $500 right now, 10% right now, and then I'll still pay for the hoodie.
I think that's a unique perspective because you don't see a lot of events do that, and we've been to plenty of events, and not all of them are handing out really good fucking swag, really good swag. So I thought that's always sweet. And then also it's like free food. They always have free food, similar to how Harry has food at his, or how I believe Matt has got snacks and stuff at his as well too. That's coming around. So like when you got all these different things jiving, it just makes the event click in multiple ways, because what happens when you smoke a lot of weed, you get hungry and you get thirsty.
Yeah, right, for sure.
And how do you keep people there? Give them food and water.
Well, and to me, like, I know this sounds silly, but as you do events, really having space to move is so key, because once it gets too filled, you start losing people because it's too overcrowded, or it starts getting too much, right? I think what was really cool about using the outside of the Crowfoot is it created this in and out feeling where you could go in and out if you need to stretch and breathe a second. And like, I honestly felt like they might have hit like 1,000 people because it was nonstop busy the entire time everywhere. But what was cool is you could still move. Sometimes, like, for me, coming from like the rave scene and stuff, like sometimes you get in these like venues and you're just like, I can't tell how many shows I've been at like El Club and you're just like, because it's got that one side of the wall where you can only see, and you're just like shit. But
And honestly, that it does suck when you're
it's such a great venue. I love the Crowfoot. It's one of my favorite venues. I actually won a DJ set there. It was my first DJ set ever, like many moons ago, like a decade ago. So I have a special place in my heart for Crowfoot. Yeah, no, for sure. I remember that you were there. About
Squad came out. That was pretty cool.
It was always be a special place for me. So I enjoyed it, and then to be able to like smoke weed and walk around, and like the way they did the booze, where it's like mocktails and drink water inside, Red Bulls, and then if you wanted like alcohol, it was free, but outside, but you just couldn't bring the beer in. It's like a beer garden. I love the beer garden. I love it. I love this idea.
Shout out to the ice cream man. He had some good ice cream.
Oh yeah,
ice cream slap. I'll tell you that.
Dave was all about that ice cream. He said it like 12 times. Like, hey man, you guys want to get some ice cream? I was like,
well, we kept waiting. The line was never ending. So it was just like we just kept talking. We were outside, and I was like, we could actually move this line, our little group, to ice cream. Who doesn't like ice cream when you're smoking weed? A lot probably don't, but I love ice cream. So yeah, it was good. The pierogies were good. Good flour everywhere. I appreciate everyone that stopped us, talked to us. I love chatting up with everybody. And
one thing I didn't before we get into Zalympix winners, because I was just about to jump into Zalympix winners. Just shout out some of the my passing grass winners. The problem is the Instagram doesn't list it yet, but I do want to shout out Canopy and Alien Tech for winning on their collab on the Canagar. On the infused pre-roll, well deserved. That's our partner. That's our homie Scotty. Shout out to the dude Steve too, because we've had them in the studio. Really cool. That Crush Rodic product was great. Do not understand how they didn't place Moon Rocks. Just my own opinion. Just gonna throw that out there. So whoever voted in the infused pre-roll, I don't know what you were thinking, but or infused flour, but cool to see some homies win. And then again, shout out to MI Loudflower, because that Coda's Kush that they took 2 places with, I think it was a first and a second. That was one of their own genetics. So shout out to Moto Genetics, MI Loudflower, My Loudflower. They're the homies. They were one of our first.
Shout out to Wojo. They took home four
out of 4 awards. Wojo's nonstop right now. They're insane.
And then also shout out to Flows. I think they got a second or third place. I saw for one of their strains.
Second.
Yeah. So shout out to a lot of the homies getting some dubs. Love seeing that.
But the reason why I brought that up
just shows
we were getting into the ZA winners, man. I mean, it was really cool to be a part of the show. So we got to give out some awards. That was super fun. So I felt super I was like, oh my God. We get to read it. We get to see who won. It was a lot of fun. Shout out to Summer Sky, who was with us. That's our third partner who's been busy as hell, but she's still around. She's still recording episodes when she can.
Facts.
But we did it as a team, and it was kind of funny because we're all like, all right, so how are we going to do this? And everyone's basically job was the one that no one else wanted to do, and it worked out perfectly.
Yeah. I just got to sit there and hold the trophy.
Jay's like, I just hold trophy.
I was baked by the time we found out. I found out 5 minutes before we went. It was hilarious. Ran into, because Groovy was talking to Ty earlier in the week, and then Groovy's like, you still need us? Ty's like, yeah. So we went. I had no idea what we were doing. I thought it was one award, to be honest. I thought we were doing one and then getting off the stage. That's what I thought. And we went the whole time, which was pretty cool.
You gave out like 5 awards. It felt like, I don't know.
I feel like 7.
Shout out to Slim with the pack. Shout out to me. Shout out to the homie. That was fun to kind of go and jive with him a little bit on stage, because he's always emceeing these events, and he's the homie. So that was really fun to be honorable. They were giving out some cool product. Oh, there was some exclusive stuff. We talked about Avid briefly. Oh, sorry. You want to do the winners? We could talk about the winners. Yeah.
We just went into it. That's what I thought you were going into.
Yeah, it was just my ADD kicking over. Nah, I'm stupid. It's all good, man.
That's stupid. Don't say that.
Well, no.
Zah.
That's what we were talking about. Zalympix winners. So for Zalympix winners, do you want to read them off? You can read them off.
Go if you got it. If you got it, go.
I hate being on this thing. All right. So the winners for the overall flower category. So we'll start with third place. Great Lakes Kush with Rainbow Belts 3 V2. Second place was Growing Pains with Honey Banana, which we tried some Growing Pains donuts that were really good. Me and Dave got, and then High Tech won first place with the Lance, Lantz, because it does say like it sounds like we're saying Lance, like Lance Armstrong, but we're saying Lance, Lantz. Best winners of flower category, best tasting. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wow. The overall category and best tasting are exactly the same. I didn't even notice that until just now. Third place, Great Lakes Kush, Rainbow Bells 3. Second place, Growing Pains, Honey Banana. First place, Lance. So that stayed pretty consistent, huh?
That makes sense.
The winners, best category, best terps. You can read the rosin, which is ironic because you're a candidate, but you read the rosin. Third place is favored, which I said wrong. I think I said farved or something before. It's favored with lemon runts. Second place, High Tech with Lance, and then first place was Growing Pains with the Honey Banana. So it moved around a little bit. So the winners, the flower category, best looking. So I'm guessing this might have been what's it called? Fan favorite, not fan favorite, but the judges. So best looking was Min Canna with Candy Blues. Gaseous was Premier 517 with 517 headband. Heaviest hitting was Freshly Fine with Gorilla Glue number 4, which damn, I'd love to try that. Because I missed glue number 4. Best candy, Tip Top Crop with Cosmic Runs, and most unique was Growing Pains with Honey Banana. That was all the flowers. You got the
nice rosin? Nice variety.
Figure I'd let you read the rosin.
Yeah, so the winners for the rosin category, best overall, third place, Peninsula Gardens with Plan Z,
which
Organic Mechanic and Alpha Buds with White Gummy Bear, and then first place was Archive Banana Peels.
That's the only one I haven't tried out of those, and I swear by that Plan Z. That Plan Z was gas, the Z terps on it, and that white gummy was so unique. Me and Dave got to try that once. Shout out to the to Organic Mechanic and Alpha Buzz. That shit was very unique. And then Banana Peels, never tried it. So
the winners of the rosin category for best tasting, third place was High Tech with Lance. Second place again was Organic Mechanic and Alpha Buds with the White Gummy Bear. And then Archive was first with the Banana Peels.
Man, Citrus is winning a lot this year.
Best terps rosin. Third place is Progo with Strawberry Zittles. Second place is Archive with Banana Peels, and then first place was the White Gummy Bear, Organic Mechanic and Alpha Buds.
Yeah, man, I would give that because it's so unique on those terps, man. That makes sense.
And then best looking was Archive with Banana Peels,
which this section I think is like the judges category. I think, right?
Yeah, the gaseous was M.I. Loudflower with Coda's Kush. The heaviest hitting was M.I. Loudflower with Coda's Kush. Best candy was Peninsula Garden with Plan Z, and the most unique was Organic Mechanic Alpha Buzz with the White Gummy Bear.
I honestly agree with a lot of the ZA. You know, I don't think most of the best in grass I agreed with. Not all of it. There's definitely some categories I was confused about. Zalympix, I pretty much agree with all of it. There's a couple that I haven't tried, like the iCar of Banana Peels and then the Strawberry Zittles. But outside of that, I've tried everything else. So I'm like, all right, pretty legit. I mean, not for rosin. I can't say.
Yeah, next year it'd be cool to get one of the rosin bags.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely will. If Ty, you're listening, hit us up early so we can reserve it. Because last year he's like, hey.
We already put it in. We already just RSVP'd it. No. Kidding. I'm totally kidding. We did.
You heard it here now first. No, I'm just kidding. And honestly, it's just a good deal, too. So that's the one thing about either of these competitions, then, and this is how I'm going to compare them to be very similar, is that no matter what, you're getting a good deal and an easy way to try a lot of what's on the market. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, the categories are definitely spread out more. And you can, if you like edibles or topicals or, different things, you get more categories with best in grass. But Zalympix, it's just two different consumers, right? You're talking about that 10% who only care about the best of the best, and then, or maybe 20%. And then the other 80% who just want to get high, they want best in grass because you're getting a good deal and you get to try the category that you like. You know what I mean? You're like, if I like carts, I can try all the carts out there. Easy peasy. Now they're only $15 a cart or whatever it breaks down to. Yep. Right? So I think no matter what, that's the best thing about these comps, dude, is the consumer gets a good deal.
Yeah. I mean, the consumer is going to find out those brands. They're going to search them out now as well. So it's also good for the brand both ways. And I think it's beneficial really for both of them because either 100%. Way, like, even if you don't get first place and you got third place, your name's still out there. The thing that's interesting is like, no matter what, you get your name out there.
You just said third place does matter. Just because Dave gets second place and he's like pitiful. Just remember what you just said. You just said it. I'm gonna quote you on that. I'm gonna quote Dave to Dave.
Cut it. Cut it. Nope. You need to cut it.
I already got some editing to do. Not at that point. Keep that in. Keep that in.
No,
we're not gonna cut it. I'm not. Dave not gonna cut it. Anyways,
Dave don't release episodes.
Before we got out of those, that we started talking about the winners, and I zoned out.
Bring up that.
I really wanted to shout out the homie Mitch from Respect My Region. Also works with Active. They are a cool vape tech company. That did a collab of papaya with Exotic Matter, exclusive only at the event, not coming out till late 2025. But I love this cart, man. I haven't got to the end yet, so I can't really speak on the full cart. But so far, it's been ripping easy. You don't gotta like sometimes my thing about the O2, like I love O2 overall. They're like my favorite. I mean the Wojo ones are pretty solid. I forget who makes those ones. They're like smaller, like little cylinders. But I swear you get a little burnt at the end. The O2, I feel like you get all the way through. This one has been pretty solid so far. It hasn't tasted shitty. Granted, I haven't got to the end yet, but I really want to say I enjoy this tech, the sleekness. It's much easier to pull with the O2. You have to take long dragged pulls. This one I can just take a nice pull. So I don't know whatever they did, but it rips nice. And who were we talking to about the viscosity? That was talking about it was really made for different levels of like from thick to thin.
That's our next week's interview.
Is that what we're talking about? Okay, yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, which we will give a hint at the end of this episode. If you stick around with us, you'll be able to find out. Dave, I'm going to let Dave say it because Dave's been like ready to say it this whole time. He's like,
I'm ready to say it since we did the interview.
You can say it. You want to say it? All right, our homie Lance gave us a heads up. Where's Lance from, Doug?
First smoke of the day.
Yeah, I was going to say it. We'll let them just get it. Yeah, shout out to Summer and Lance. We get them both in the studio, so Summer set that up, and
great interview.
Shout out to the homie Lance. That was a lot of fun, man. You know, we see him around the spots. Always been trying to like touch base with him, and just all happened. So sweet episode.
It's a long interview.
Yeah, a couple hours. But we get in the gritty of also like who Lance is, like the motivation behind the pod, not just like the same old questions that everyone asks, like what's your favorite interview? Like we got to know Lance, like, the person of Lance. Like, we learned throughout the episode, we learned about him, we learned first day of the smoke info the whole time. And we got some inside perspective and some exclusive stories from Lance. So it was super fun.
So one of them is actually first time ever told. Which I think I think is really cool. Honestly,
it got real too. It got real. It was a good combo.
It did. We had a time limit and we even went over the time limit. It was just a vibe. I think you all are really going to enjoy this episode. I from the beginning to the end, it's very engaging. It's a different type of episode than we've done. Like Groovy said, it's not all the similar questions we've done. It's all different.
No, I mean like people ask him. Like I don't know how many. I've never watched an interview of people. I mean, I tried to ask some weird questions, more like personal too, not just. We asked a lot of questions. Let's be real. And I love Lance because he was able to give us full responses, like sick. Really in depth too. And it was a fun combo, man.
Yeah, cool. Super pumped on releasing that. But he's the one that was telling us about the different viscosities and for the pen that pen can do all different types. It can do from your extreme butter all the way down to like your rosin sauce, right? All within that cart. And that's what he was explaining because we brought it out in the episode. And it's, I'm blanking on his name. What was it? Tony from Blue River Terps? Is that his name? No?
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one that helped Active come up with this and make sure it all works. And we actually met Tony, I think it was last year. It was last year at MJ BizCon after party, and Mitch had us out there for it. So it was great. I'm glad we ran into Mitch. I always love running into him. He actually hit me up before, and he was saying how crazy it is over here, how much bud we have. He checked out a couple farms. He seemed pretty. Yeah, he seemed pretty busy, so it was great to catch up with him. Check them out. Respect My Region, and then give Active a follow. They got some good cart tech.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, both great events. I mean, I definitely think they hit different parts of consumers of the market and a little bit overlap there, and that's why I really liked that they were both in 1 week. I mean, it was a lot of fun. Since we're on the topic of events and we just coming out of like two really badass events, another different style event is the business to business event, right? Which is more like Flower Expo, which we had 2-3 weeks ago now in Michigan. Now we have another one coming up in Chicago. So any of our Illinois, Indiana, West Michigan, East Michigan fam, Illinois fam, go there. And that's next week, the 23rd and 24th. I forget where it's at right now.
That is right. It's in
it's in Chicago. Yeah, it's in Illinois. Well, it's in Chicago. I just cannot remember the venue name. Dab Cowgirl told us, but I cannot remember. I'm trying to remember, but I got nothing. But anyways, like I want to say, like another style event that, like, these events and competitions are fun. Gala, it's fun to dress up. Zalympix, it's fun to come out like with your, your swag. Ready to dripped out, like kind of dripped out, as I like to say. Everyone's got like their leather backpacks and shit. You know what I mean? It's like cannabis style.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's got that streetwear shit. I love it, right? But this one is more like business to business. Sure. This is about closing deals. This is like minimum quantity orders and and how many stores do you have and how much can I buy by how much is a pound? That style event. And just want to shout out Dab Cowgirl because like her recruiting style is literally harder than anyone else I've seen. She's literally at every store. She'll literally be in Michigan at a dispo, go to an event, drive to Illinois, hit a couple dispos, hit an event, and then drive home to hang out with her mom. It's like, dog, you're crazy.
It's impressive.
Shout out Dab Cowgirl.
It is.
She's a hustler, man. She works hard.
Yeah, respect.
And I enjoyed Flower Expo. Different vibes. Is it different? Yeah, we're setting up interviews. We're doing little recording.
But that's the thing about events. Each one caters to different audiences, different people. Right. It's different. You got some are for your high suite level people. Some are for your middle to education. Some are just for the culture. Some are awards. Some are just like good events to get people out. Like there's everything.
Right. Like I would say Zalympix is definitely a culture event. Right. Well, I think, Best in Grass is a community event, but I would say it's a metric event. Right. It's like almost like a metric community, and you hit nail on the head because every event is a little different. Right. When you get like the old, big cloud farms, now you're getting just culture, like straight up culture. No, like, you know what I mean? Like, if anything, pre-culture, community, like caregiver culture. So it's just like there is such different levels to events. And then when you go to business ones, that's like just business ones. I mean, even then, like, even for something like Flower Expo, you're not even getting ripped. Sure, people are taking smoke breaks, but it's more like MJ BizCon in the sense where you're like able to smoke outside or whatever, do your thing. But like, it's also more focused on business, No, and then the session is all about education. So it's like cannabis is like the centerpiece, but you're right. They're all absolutely different, targeted for totally different audiences because the community is made up by such different individuals. You got people from every walk of life smoking bud, and then you got all different backgrounds making up the cannabis community. It's not just growers. Everyone thinks it's just heady people. It's like not just heady people anymore. Not at all. So
no, it's not. It's there's an event for everybody nowadays.
What is your favorite style event, Dave?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I like them all for all different reasonings. But most of them I like to chill and I like to vibe.
Politics, political.
That's the best.
I'm a sucker for culture.
I'm actually training. You're gonna be
like I'll never forget the first time going to like Hash Bash or Hash Bash Cup, and you're like, whoa, I love community culture events, man. Oh, and also,
but to be honest, the first thing that introduced me to all of it
event that I went to
was the High Times ones. The High Times back in the day was culture. And that was the best. If you talk, that was before we even went to Hash Bash Cup. That was
pre-metric High Times.
We're talking 2017, 2016, 2017, 2018 when we were going. I think those are the years. 28, and because right after that it got legal in 2018. But those are the years where it was at Flint, and then even the one in Detroit was still a riot. But like those were the fun events. It was music. Different.
Yeah, this is more of like a just you can smoke weed publicly and event.
Music, weed.
It felt so much. I would say High Times was definitely a community culture event in the beginning, with the competition. And then as it transferred over to being bigger and bigger and bigger, I think it got a little bit more into that like just like marketing. But I think High Times, it's like, what year are we talking about? You know what I mean? I will never knock High Times because it just depends on what year and what owner or whatever. Like, you know, it's just like, you know, because definitely High Times is culture. It's just if you talk about it now, I don't know if I would say that. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I know, but I'm gonna be like the beginning. If I think about it, those
no, I agree with you. I agree
first
with
events
those
that got
years.
me. Like, I was like, this is sick.
I agree.
Because that was me coming out of the raid. So I was like, oh, these are fucking, you can do this.
Yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, the beginning of dabs out here in Michigan too.
So
everyone's giving out dabs.
I like them all. I think they all have good purposes because sometimes I want to do a business meeting where we can meet new people.
The Third Eye Craft Affair was fun too. It was just like a small farmer's market for like caregivers. It was super cool.
It's probably like the Hashrim or whatever one I went to.
Sort of, but the venue was super hard to explain. It was like this like community house. You know that mushroom house on Woodward? I forget what it's called. We did a drop off once for the Holistic House.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but like 3 stories. Like art all over the wall. It was super cool. Like for me as an artist, like I just enjoyed the space. You know, a DJ, Ganja Girl, which I've seen her around. She crushes it. Very talented. She was crushing it upstairs. So, you know, we're listening to bass music. You know, I was like, this is dope. Bass music and dabs. And I was hanging out with some homies. Shout out to the High Zog homies in Spliffany. They made my day a little bit brighter because I was exhausted from writing all day. But yeah, no, it was it was a good time, and I just and that was like straight culture community, like caregiver community event, right? Very specific. So I was on the opposite end. I just wanted to bring that up. Like there are so many events in this culture, and like, I think Dave says it best is like, long as you learn to appreciate them all, like you can really have fun at all of them. You know, I love them all because not all of them are gonna give you free shit, but no matter what, you're gonna learn something. You know what I mean? That's why I love the sessions.
Networking, you're meeting new people, man. I think that's the best part is networking and meeting new people.
Well, the sessions is literally
and plus for us. Yeah, true. And plus for us, like we might not see some of y'all. You might see us. We don't see you like behind the screens. When we run into you in person, it's always a great vibe as well too. So I think that any event where we can do that is always a bonus. But yeah, you're right. The sessions you learn and you level up and you get prizes and stuff. And that's September 27th, New Buffalo.
Yeah, I just love that it kind of meshes the worlds of learning with like free shit, and it literally correlates. The more you learn, the more you get. I think that's awesome because sometimes people will just come in, get free merch, and be like deuces. They'll come in, wait in the lines, get as much free shit, hit each booth, and be like deuces. Like sometimes it's just about the free shit. So I like that it kind of creates this like keep the community there, create the community, create conversation, then you also win shit on your way out. Because if you get so when they used to give out bags on the way in, people would just leave.
Yeah, no, that did happen quite often.
You remember that where people would go to events for the bags, the grab bag, and then they would leave like immediately after, and people like wouldn't gain anything from the event, marketing all those people. So I think that like what they figured out was a cool little area, right?
I think that's why you saw that stuff stop though. And that was also early on with
started getting him towards
that was like super early.
Well, I know, but since we're talking about these cool events, I mean, we might as well talk a little bit. Like they've come so far. They really have come so far, and like you really do leave each event feeling like you didn't like lose because it's not just a weed grab anymore. Each event is specified. You know, you're getting like weed with yoga stuff now.
Damn, I should do that. I like my yoga. I want to do that hot yoga again. You want to go?
Well, that's random. But my whole point was that you're seeing cannabis kind of looped in with everything. You know what I mean? That was my point. Dave's like, hell yeah, yoga. Let's talk yoga. Yoga chat. My yoga cast. And my yoga cast. I'm just kidding.
Yoga Dave. No.
Jesus Christ. Very clever, Dave. What if his whole time, his actual name is Canna, and the nickname is Dave? Whoa. Stupid.
That would be hilarious.
No, but I mean, just because we've been in this community for so long, man. I mean, it used to they really had to figure out events. You know, they figure out the B2C, the B2B2C. Like they figured out all the different styles. And honestly, after talking to like Fran and people from other places, they do parties too. You know, but we do it good here too. Everyone seems like, man, yeah, these are sweet. You get free shit. Like I remember when I went to what state was it? I forget what state, or was it they were from? I think it was a Big Dub. But I was talking to someone. They're like, "What do you mean you get free shit?" I'm like, "They give out free shit." They're like, "Why?" I'm like, marketing. They're like, why don't they sell it? I'm like, well, it's very competitive out here. So at this point now, it's like becoming like, is your stuff good enough? Not just is it available? Because remember when it was just like we were in the game, so there was enough to go around. That day has been way gone. So
you got to stand out now.
Now you got to win competitions.
You need to stand out.
Like Canada.
Yeah.
That's why we had Dave hold the trophies. We're like, hey, you can hold the trophies. He's like, yeah, I know how to do that. He's like,
oh, I did not say. I didn't say that.
No, Dave was like, so you guys are gonna talk? that's what I realized what happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
a lot of people staring up.
No, it was a lot of fun.
I was also pretty baked. So
I was so shocked at how big that line was about ZA and just how many people were there. It was, I mean, don't get me wrong, Best in Grass. Best in Grass was a little bit more, like only the competitors gala feeling. It wasn't like overpacked. You know what I mean? Like where ZA definitely some moments felt like packed, but like once everyone got in and the flow started separating, people went outside, like it got comfortable. And really, like, I think they used every inch of that Crowfoot space. Every inch. Like I was looking into rooms that I've never seen before, and I was like, the fuck is this? Like GT Rolling did like a whole class that we walked into, and there's just like a bunch of people rolling, and I'm like, what? Looking for the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was good. They do it well.
Yeah, shout out to homies Lights Guy on some good rosin, man. There was some great products. Got to try some stuff. I think I smoked. I can't tell you how many donuts we smoked. There was free donuts. There was this donut. There was a grab a donut bar. There was another donut bar. Apparently we missed one of them or two. But it's just like you don't have time to see.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
You physically can't even see them from across the venue. You know what I mean? Unless you pass a booth, you don't see the booth because it's so busy.
True.
You know
I do got a funny statement to hear here. That Groovy might not like, but we had such a good time and we were so exhausted on Sunday that my dude and him came by, we got wings and we watched some Lions football together on Sunday. We watched the whole first half together.
We did not watch the first half together. Did we really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know it was on. I mean, I knew it was on because Dave would react and he was like football or whatever. But like I didn't know what quarter we watched till.
Yeah, you left by
I'll believe you.
Maybe it was like first and maybe it was almost halftime, right? But
dude, I don't know.
It was pretty much halftime.
I wasn't watching the football. I was just talking to you.
But yeah,
I made a joke that I went to the car during the commercials, and I was like, "Damn it, my favorite part."
I don't know, but he was enjoying it because we were smoking donuts that we got from Zaha. So like that was what's up. That's why I tied it in. I was like, we got pretty big.
I was going to pick up my cat, and Dave's near my mom's, so I was like, well, screw it, I'll stop by Dave's and we smoke because I had one donut, he had the other donut. We're like, well, we fucking might as well smoke these together and try. I didn't plan on chilling that long. But we got some wings, and we were super pumped because like I said, that was the day that we confirmed that Lance was coming on. We're like, oh crap, so. So hopefully nothing gets fucked up with footage or anything, but hopefully everything works out. Knock on wood. So
no, it's good. Great. We Gucci. Yeah, you did it.
I triple checked.
You triple checked
it. If I don't have that video, I have that video. If I don't have that video, at least I have the fucking audio. Like I have something.
Yeah.
Plus I have videos. Yeah,
so I'm excited that will be coming out.
Which I don't have my carpet up here. I wish I had my carpet, but shout out to Lance on those carpets. That merch. That shit was dope. Dave got a rolling tray. Well, we got a rolling tray and then 2 dab rugs, and me and Summer are definitely more of the dabbers of the group, and Dave's like the roller, and Dave was like, I want the rolling tray. We were like, yeah, that's cool, man. We got you. So me and Summer
shout out Lance. Thank you, dude.
The rugs. That was super fun, man. Shout out, man. I hope we eventually get to pop on them one day if we're at another event. We can kind of hang out with them and see what their shit's about. Because just talking to Lance and him asking questions back, I can tell why they're one of the best podcasts in cannabis, because the way he interviews, the way he responds, the way he speaks is very clear. It's concise, although it's also fun and entertaining. So I strive to be like Lance in that sense, and I appreciate that. I appreciate him coming on and messing with our community and giving us kind words and shouting out Tyler and saying that we were one of the best Michigan cannabis podcasts, because it's like I don't know, that's cool to hear from someone that you're like, I'm surprised you even would come here. Like, Like, you know, like,
Yeah, no,
using my crib up,
it's
you know
all
what I mean?
love. Yeah, it's all love, man. It's all love.
That's what
We're
I love about
growing, and
this
that's not
community,
without you.
man.
That's not
This
without
community,
all
man.
your help. That listeners, I want to give the listeners real quick a
Absolutely.
shout out because
Facts.
you all have been giving us follows, liking, sharing,
Facts.
reposting, doing everything. We just hit over 3,000 followers on IG, and we continue to grow. And that's just my CannaCast IG, and that's not counting
Getting
our
close to
personals.
1,000 on
So,
YouTube too, so help us out.
yeah, please, if you guys help
Just
us out,
make
we'll
up
do a
100
sweet giveaway.
accounts for
I think.
YouTube and do it for us.
Yeah,
We just
do
want you
that.
out.
No, you don't do that. Yeah, same. But it's honestly not without your growth, because without all you listening, all you liking our stuff, commenting, people want to listen to us. So you guys are making noise and people are responding. So much appreciated. Much love. That is all.
All right, yeah, and honestly, that's pretty much the end of the episode. I mean, events are really fun. They've been taking over. We're still going to see some throughout the fall, but I mean, we've been at B2 business to events. We went Spanibus, which we have content coming still from that. Just it's been a crazy summer of nonstop events. So I think it's going to be a fall of just posting about the events and all the experiences that we've had. And just want to shout out to all the partners that helped make that happen and helped made all this entertainment for y'all. And as we continue to make it, because we have more and more ideas. Shout out to all the other people that are going to help us along the way. But Lost Coast Plant Therapy, 20% off. My CannaCast, M-I, CannaCast, all one word, all lowercase. Use it. Exquisite Extractions. They got hash infused pre-rolls, and they also got rosin, which we will be demoing and having Trenton on in the team soon. The session where bud tenders level the F up. That is not what they say. That is what I just said because it was fun to say. They say level and the bud tenders level up. But no, for real. And the reason why I said it like that is because I enjoyed it. Ask Dave. I literally was doing it. I was going to booths and I was learning. I was telling about what I was learning, and then I wanted to win the prize. It works. Shout out to Canopy for those first places and those other ones he should have won because it's well deserved. It's fire concentrates. He wins tons of cups. Check it out. Check out the carts. Check out the infused cannagars that he wins on in live resin. Smoking Tomatoes soil powered by Dairy Dew. They have a whole line to help you along the process for all those growers out there. Living Soil, the best way to go. Shout out to Dave for his Living Soil, and then Old School Organics. Shout out to fam over there.
Shout out to all of our partners. Appreciate that, Groovy. Make sure you tune in this Saturday. It's going to be a fun wake and bake. That's 9 a.m. Eastern. Catch us live everywhere. And as always, we're here to advocate,
educate,
and inspire. Till next time, y'all. Peace.